Welcome, everybody. I'm JD.
And I'm Gail.
And you're tuned into Gale for us, where we do a new show every Sunday. This is news for the best of us. That's what I like calling it now.
Okay.
For the rest of us.
Yeah.
The news for the best of us.
Yeah, well, you know, we are special.
We are special. And what we do here on a weekly basis is bring you news from a different perspective. I'm the radical capitalist, and he's the conspiracy theorist.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. So we look at things from a different point of view, and like we've been saying for the last couple of broadcasts, the world's on fire.
Absolutely. And not just California.
And it's a special day today. It's an anniversary today.
Absolutely.
And whose anniversary is it?
The Yellow Vest movement in Paris.
And if you don't know what that is, it's been going on for a year. You should know what's happening there in Paris. They've been protesting every weekend for the last 52 weeks. All right?
Yeah.
And they're protesting against their government, along with people in Hong Kong, people in Chile, people in Venezuela,
Ecuador,
Bolivia, pretty much everywhere. England.
Yeah, England because of Brexit and stuff.
Spain, India,
Lebanon. As a matter of fact, there was a reporter got an eye poked out by a rubber bullet the other day.
Ouch.
And Iran's on fire.
I was just going to say, there's a new country we can put on the list here of what's, protests going on.
We were just deciding, are we going to keep listing the ones or just start listing the ones that don't have protests?
I think that's the way we got to go. It's probably a shorter list if we list the countries where there's not protests going on. So pretty much the world's on fire. And like we said, the new country now is Iran. And you wouldn't think they would protest there. You pretty much think it would be against the law, which it probably is.
It is.
But they've broken out their Bic lighters and their boxes of matches, and they have burned down the central bank in Iran. Now, I don't know what good that does, burning your money. I guess here in the United States, we let Washington burn through our money. So really setting the banks on fire wouldn't do much. We just let the government do that. But I guess in Iran, it's getting so bad, they raised the price of gas in this oil-producing country.
Well, look what they did down in Chile here about a month ago when they raised up the price of transportation.
Yeah, just a ticket to get on a bus. And it wasn't that much, 20 cents or something. They raised it a little bit, and everybody's freaking out. So why are all these protests going on in all these countries? Is there any kind of theory behind it?
It's in the water.
It must be in the water. Well, maybe it is.
Donald Trump did it.
It's the climate change causing the Arctic region to melt, and no telling what's in that ice.
Right.
So all that's leaching into the oceans, which finally leaches into the rainwater, which is now, I guess
it has to be the Arctic ice because it can't be Fukushima that's still polluting the Pacific Ocean.
This is true too.
They worry about climate change, but the thing is
but the radiation is
the radiation from Fukushima is going to kill us quicker than this climate change.
I was just reading something about climate change. They said there's a 1 in 14,000 chance that the human race will be extinct the next year. So I'm thinking that pretty much takes climate change off the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about climate change if there's a 1 in 14,000 chance that we're going to be extinct here in a couple, year or two.
That's almost like buying a scratch-off ticket for the lottery, huh?
And I don't think they're talking about all the protests going on and the government's going to start shooting everybody. You were just saying that the ammo.
Oh yeah, there was a first survey done that the stockpile of ammunition worldwide is at an all-time high.
Something's going to happen when governments are stockpiling gold and ammunition. That doesn't look good. All these big banks and central banks are buying up as much gold as they can, and then the governments are buying up as much ammo as they can.
And for the first time in many, 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 many years, the Central Bank of Germany, the Bundesbank, is starting to buy gold.
And my question was, all these banks are buying gold. Who are the sellers?
Yes.
Is it individual people selling or is it institutions selling? We know it's not banks they're selling because
the banks are buying.
Banks are buying. So are they buying it from governments, or is the governments selling their golds in order to raise money, which is not a good sign.
Right.
So
I think it's to keep confidence in their currency. But the thing is of all the people, there's a guy, his name is Ray Dalio. He is the head of the largest uh, hedge fund in the world, and he's a very calm, cool guy. That about a week ago said you need to have at least 10% of your portfolio in hard asset gold and silver, not in stocks. So when someone
so
like that says
when he's pushing precious metals, now a lot of people probably can't afford gold because it is getting kind of expensive up there. So silver's your next bet.
yeah,
Buy silver.
they're going to
it's so
both
cheap.
push down.
Yeah. So get
Gold back below
we're
1,500.
we're not saying sell everything you got and buy silver or gold. Again, we're not financial gurus and don't take any advice from us, and we don't give financial advice here. We're just telling you what other people are saying and some of the stuff we do. But get you a little bit of silver. Go down to your coin dealer down there and buy a couple
Yeah.
silver Morgans or some silver dimes or whatever. Just have something on hand just in case. Oh, by the way, we're broadcasting here from the new retreat here in Central Florida. We're not broadcasting from the bunker, which we need to get back into because it's probably warmer in the bunker.
Well, warmer in the bunker than it is here.
It's a little chilly here in Central Florida. It dropped below 60 degrees, and for us, that's winter here in Central Florida.
But it was like 52 degrees this morning.
Yeah. But as you can see, we have a little bit of acreage here, and we're going to start kind of being self-sufficient. Somebody had managed to jump our fence and build a chicken coop behind us. You can't kind of see it. There's a chicken coop behind us with 4 chickens in there. I want to know who did that. Who climbed over my fence and gave me 4 chickens?
The chicken fairy, huh?
Yeah. So I got the wife looking after them. I do vegetables. I don't do animals that often unless I'm eating them. But yeah, it's a little chilly.
Are you a member of PETA?
The
people
PETA
eating
sandwich?
PETA is people eating tasty animals.
I'll do that, especially if it's barbecued.
Yeah.
As long as it tastes like chicken. So it's a little chilly down here, and we don't know if that's from climate change or did the sun move farther away?
Who knows?
So, but yeah, we say buy a little bit of silver, buy a little bit of gold, and then grow some. That's what we're going to do here on the retreat. Here is we're going to try to.
Actually, I can give one bit of financial advice, and I think it's not going to hurt.
Alrighty.
Don't keep all your cash in a bank.
That's another good thing. I wouldn't trust banks nowadays.
Because if they were to have a bail-in, what they would do is they'd have a bank holiday and they'd close the bank for 3 or 4 days. When they open back up, they're probably going to take about half of everything you got in there.
Kind of like what they did in Cyprus.
Cyprus
and Greece.
Years ago. Yeah, 2013 or something like that they did it. So you can always make it, and in a lot of countries, like in Lebanon, when they're having bank problems, they're only allowed like $20 a day or something.
Yeah, that's what happened in India.
Right.
They put a cap on how much you could take out per day, and India runs on cash.
Right. So having cash on hand, it's just like here in Florida, we call part of our hurricane preparedness. You have to have some cash. Because in the local area, if the internet's down, your credit card won't work.
Yeah.
But you can get gas if you've got cash.
Cash talks, as they say.
That's right.
And we were wondering, with all this uprising going on in the world, what's causing all this? Like in Chile. Chile's been on an even keel for the last couple of decades. Really no problems down there. Everybody's doing fairly well. But now all of a sudden there's protests going on, and they say it's because of transportation, the price of transportation.
That's what they say in the news.
But when you talk to people, they're saying, well, there's a discrepancy between the rich and the poor, and it's getting bigger and bigger. The gap between them is getting bigger and bigger. And we're seeing that around the globe now, where it's now a fight against the rich. And we definitely see it here in America with the 2020 election.
And a millionaire isn't rich.
Yeah, a millionaire here.
People need to get off that. Being a millionaire, you're not rich.
That's nothing, yeah. And why is all this happening around the world? Why are all these countries all of a sudden have an uprising against the rich? And one thing you got to look at is most of your politicians are rich. They are rich. And they get rich,
including the Democrat ones.
And they get rich while they're in office, which is a little suspect. But why, of all places like Chile, which has been, like I said, just going along and no problems, all of a sudden there's an uprising in Chile. And now we have Bolivia, and now, well, we know about Iran. Iran, they're going to do an uprising sooner or later because that's pretty much a dictatorship, as in most countries. And something's got to be behind it. And we see that with the impeachment going on here in America.
Mm-hmm.
They're going after Trump, who really hasn't done nothing bad, but they're trying to find something bad about it. Well,
first off, if somebody says he's something bad, he's done something then. Because since he's been in there,
he's done quite a bit behind the scenes.
Yeah, but as far as for Congress doing anything, they dig their heels and they won't do anything. So if nothing's being done, how can you blame Trump?
This is true. And I kind of like it when nothing's getting done with Congress. Yeah. That means they're leaving us alone. But why are they going after Trump for something minor as this Ukrainian thing? And it comes down to the State Department. And the State Department, it's funny, we said that there shouldn't be other countries interfering in our elections.
Correct.
But we have no problem interfering in other people's elections. We've done it for the last 50 years. We go in and we disrupt other countries and try to put in who we think should be the leaders and stuff like that. So we're always interfering in other countries. Yet we get a little pissed when they try to interfere with us. But something's going on with the State Department. And that's what you saw when you saw the testimony going on this week for the thing. They brought people that have nothing to do. They weren't on the call, so they didn't hear it firsthand.
They have no firsthand knowledge.
It's all hearsay, and their feelings were hurt, and that's what Trump did bad, is he hurt somebody's feelings, and that's why they're mad. And there's a theory going on out there. I'm not going to say conspiracy theory because it might not be conspiracy. This might be. This is what's really happening. Is the State Department is their own government, and they're mad at Trump because Trump wants to change American foreign policy, but he can't get it done because the State Department is so in their own government, as we said. This is the real deep state. But what does that have to do with other countries? Well, we have ambassadors all around the world.
Right.
And then we have what's called these NGOs, which are non-governmental organizations that we actually pay for with our money. We give them to these NGOs, our tax dollars. And the State Department uses these NGOs to start uprisings around the world. And that's the theory everybody has did the State Department go into Ukraine and try to dig up dirt on Trump, hoping he wouldn't be elected? And then when he got elected, he's like trying to figure out what's going on. Well, now we see uprisings in, of all places, like we said, Chile and now Bolivia, and around the world, all kind of countries where we're having these uprisings now. And the theory is that maybe the State Department is causing these problems. They're trying to make a rift between the rich and the poor. And this has been going on for 100 years. You always blame the rich. You never blame the government. The government never screws up. The government's only here to help.
Yeah, they're here to help you.
But there's something going on in the world, and hopefully we'll try to uncover what's happening. But why all of a sudden are all these protests going on? Like we said, it's probably easier to tell you what countries aren't having protests than there are countries having protests. And like we said, in Iran, they just burned their bank down because inflation's gone to hell.
And in Lebanon, of all places, that's this little Lebanon pimple on the backside of
everywhere else. So beware out there that our State Department and our government might not be as cherry as we thought they are, and as nice people as they are. They might be causing the uprising.
You know what I heard about Ukraine?
Let me hear.
Okay, conspiracy. I'll go for it. That's one place where Hillary's server was in Ukraine.
Yeah.
For the Clinton Foundation, her server is actually in Ukraine.
Now, I'm not sure.
That's why the FBI couldn't get it.
I haven't snoped this yet or not, but somebody was saying that Ukraine has given more money to the Clinton Foundation than any other country.
Absolutely.
So what?
And also, when Obama sent that whole $100 and some billion of $100 bills, a lot of it went from Iran through Ukraine to other people's pockets.
Apparently. because that's another thing that Donald Trump has possibly uncovered is during the Obama administration, they sent Ukraine $8 billion over the course of his administration.
Probably a lot more than that.
Probably more than that, but they know at least $8 billion. And the State Department cannot tell us where the money went. So we sent $8 billion of our dollars. You and I, if you're an American citizen, $8 billion of your dollars went to Ukraine and then disappeared. So this is what Donald Trump was asking for. He's like, we need an investigation because we think Ukraine's corrupt, which they were under the Obama administration.
Missing money?
Missing money, gone, vanished.
Oh my gosh.
So,
you know, as I recall, in September of 2001, 2 days before 9/11, Dick Cheney went before Congress and said, hey, we've got $2 trillion missing in the defense budget, and we don't know where it went to.
yeah, they can't. A lot of missing money.
Oh, wait a minute. And a couple of days later on 9/11, the area, I mean, coincidence after coincidence, a plane hits in the exact spot at the Pentagon where those financial records are kept.
Well, I think 2 trillion is on the light end. I think, you know, when they did that.
Yeah, but that's in 2001 where they admitted it. There was that much.
Yeah. So what we believe is going on in this world is I don't want to say the conspiracy, but let's put it out there, the Fabian Society.
Fabian Society, yep.
You can search that on your own, and is it coming true? This is like a one world government they're going after, and one way you can do it is to collapse pretty much all the governments throughout the world.
And you do that
and get everybody mad at them, but not
take
the
away
government.
people's confidence in their own government.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do, and they're pitting the rich or the poor against the rich. Now the rich can always grab their money and go somewhere and start over again, but the poor can't move. So what is stoking all these fears from the rich? You know, you don't want to get rid of the rich, because if we get rid of the rich, then we're all going to be poor.
Yeah, because
we can't all be rich.
Yeah, have you ever worked anywhere that the company was run by poor people?
I haven't met many companies that was started by, well, there's quite a few companies started by poor people, but they're not run by poor people once they get going.
Correct. And have you ever been employed by a pauper?
That's a thing. Yeah. How many people are employed by poor people? Not many. But something's going on in the world. Like we said, there's more countries. The list is shorter for countries where there's not protests going on than there is of countries with protests are going on. So,
correct.
Like we said, we don't give financial advice, but maybe you ought to have some precious metals. And
definitely some cash.
And if you got a little space in your yard, grow some vegetables so you can at least eat when the trucks stop running.
Right.
Because the economy is not always going to be this good. They can only pump it up for so long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And as we showed before, which we
it's been 11 years without a major correction.
Yeah.
That's never happened in financial history.
And the stock market is setting records every day.
It was over 28,000.
Yeah. So something's going to have to give. This rubber band's going to break pretty soon. So we just want you to be prepared. And we'll keep you updated on stuff that's going on in the world.
And if it doesn't break and you let go of the rubber band, it's going to snap back.
And quick.
And hurt your other hand.
Yeah. And it might happen within a couple of days. All of a sudden, the world changes. So
yeah,
keep an eye on it.
Not that it's happened in the next 2 days, but.
And if you watch this on YouTube, if you would give us a thumbs up and subscribe, we'd appreciate it. And we've almost been on the air for a year. We have our anniversary coming up soon.
Almost a year. No, it's been over a year.
Has it been over a year?
Because we were going for about a month or so when I told you about the Yellow Vest, and you thought it was conspiracy.
Well, but the Yellow Vest is the anniversary today, so that means we were on before that. Okay, so yeah,
we've been on over a year because it was about 3 weeks into it.
We missed our anniversary.
Sorry, we're about 3 weeks into it. Oh, well, I love you anyway. You know.
What'd you get me? You didn't come over here with any liquor. Oh, as I say that, look at that.
I see. I do love you, honey.
And all I have for him is some hot coffee here, where it's freezing. What is it? 60 degrees? It's freezing here in Florida.
Yeah, I don't think it's 60.
And well, let's see. So we know the world's on fire.
Yes.
Oh, they're using bow and arrows in Hong Kong.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
They're fighting back at the police using bow and arrows.
bow and arrows. Yeah, they didn't see that coming. How do you defend against that? But on the brighter news, Bitcoin's still around.
Yeah.
Is it above 9,000?
No.
It's below that.
Yeah, it's like 84, 85. Let me tell you, I can tell you real quick.
And it's becoming Bitcoin is, it's not mainstream yet, but there are a lot of companies there that will allow you to buy through Bitcoin. But in other countries where their money is pretty much worthless, Bitcoin is still pretty up there as a form of money.
8,651.
Okay.
Litecoin's at $60.38.
Like in Venezuela, they're still using cryptocurrencies to buy and sell things.
Right.
So, who knows? Bitcoin might catch on fairly soon. And somebody said, and I saw a story where they think Satoshi might have broke into one of his old wallets and he gave somebody 50 Bitcoins.
Really?
Some company. I can't remember what company it was, but sent him like 50 Bitcoins. And it came out of an old wallet that was made back in 2010.
Oh, wow.
Or 2011. So that's what they're thinking. Maybe
it has to be one of the first people involved.
One of the first people, and it's 50 Bitcoins. That's, I guess they were mining
That's not much.
Wasn't much back then, but yeah, some, I don't know if there's another coin or not, but I can't remember, they're making some kind of protocol that had something to do with Bitcoin. So somebody anonymously gave 50 Bitcoins to somebody. So in today's money, that's a little bit of money.
No.
Yeah,
50 times 8,600. That's a bunch of money.
Yeah, it's a little bit of money. So is Satoshi still out there? Maybe one day we'll find out. And not much news with the other coins. The Lightning Network they're still working on, and they'll hopefully get that going pretty soon. And everybody says once that gets going, then Bitcoin will be usable. So I don't know, any other news on Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies?
Well, there's lots going on behind the scenes. There's all kinds of apps for your phone that are coming up where you can do like discounts and stuff like that. There's one called the Life app that, let's say you were going to buy something at Home Depot.
Okay.
You scan the barcode, you have it attached to your bank account or whatever, and you buy a gift card to purchase the thing at like Home Depot or Lowe's or several other places.
Yep.
And then you get a percent of it back, kind of like a cash reward, like a cashback reward thing, like from a credit card. And you can do it in cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and I believe there's also an app for one of the browsers to where you can go anywhere and buy with Bitcoin, because it
right.
You pull up your app on your browser, pay for it in Bitcoin, it converts it all and sends them the cash. So Bitcoin will be used.
And the Brave browser does a lot of stuff too.
Oh yeah, the Brave browser. I actually been using it on my other computer, and I've earned some bats. So crypto might be coming around pretty soon, especially if more countries start burning their central banks.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll keep you updated on that too.
We'll do our best.
Yeah. We know, and we apologize for not being current and doing shows all the time, but we'll try to do more of that. Hopefully things will settle down here. And now that we have good, clean internet service here in the swamps of Central Florida, we'll do more of that. So what else is out there that we haven't hit upon? Any other big news? I'm trying to think.
Well, I think the fires in California are slowing down.
Well, that's good, because they need to turn the power back on so they can crank up their electric cars.
Because the governor, I just saw a thing today, the governor of California is trying to have it that all
government
cars have to, that start in 2020 or 2022 or something like that, have to be non-gas powered. They had to be some form of alternative energy.
They can use that as long as there's no more fires, because if there's fires, they have to turn the power off. And there's rumors where the government wants to take over PG&E. Oh, they did that. Where else did the government take over the power companies? Oh, Venezuela. Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah. Well, Greece.
So we'll see how.
Well, that was a bank took over the power companies in Greece.
So we'll see how that goes in California. You know, they're showing us how to do it right in California, where everybody's leaving, like rats leaving a ship. People are getting the hell out of California. But you can still take a crap on the streets in San Francisco. So
that's right.
You know, if you have vacation this year, go to San Francisco and, you know, just take a crap on the street. Be an American.
There you go.
Crap where you want.
When you say you don't give a crap, go to California and you can. Right?
That's true. Come to California, where we don't give a crap. What a world.
Yeah. Well, I think we've babbled enough. What do you think?
Well, at least we could do is crack that open and
put it in our coffee.
Coffee. You know, I don't think we've ever done a show where we haven't imbibed.
I know.
Imbibed.
That's how cold it is. We forgot to get a beer.
Really? Well, I guess I better go check on our coffee then, huh?
Yeah, all righty.
All right. So.
Well, I'm Gail.
And I'm JD. Thank you for tuning in to Gale Force again on YouTube, Gale Force Creations, BitTube, Gale Force, Facebook, Every Bit Matters. Check it out. We'll start posting more shows on there. And if you would, give us a thumbs up and a subscribe. And until next week, have fun, everybody.
Stay warm.
See ya. Stay warm here in Florida. One more time. Beep.